Hello and welcome. My name is Carsten Lützen. I'm an agile coach and a facilitator. And today I will share my Flipchart tips 2. I made a Flipcharts tips video actually quite a long time ago. And now it's time for a follow-up. So in the first video I shared a bit about how I distribute the Flipcharts in the room, how I reveal them and whatnot. So today I'll dive a bit more into how I fill the page. I have other videos on some of these techniques as well, but today will definitely bring something new. So I will share 6 tips in this video. So if you like these videos, please consider subscribing and sharing with your network. That would be super awesome. So tip number 1. I have this pen that I use most of the time, which is just a simple wedge tip. I don't know if you can see it. And what I do is I have duplicates, so have extra pens. I have a really bad track record of not always remembering to refill with ink or have extra. So I have 2 identical pens. When one runs out mid-sentence, I can always switch to the next one to make sure that I can write what I need. And why I like these pens is I can both write a somewhat small font, but I can also write bigger when I just turn it. And that helps a lot, because if people can't read it, it doesn't exist. So we often need to write rather big, and that takes a lot of ink. Hence, have 2 pens that helps a lot. Next up, if I need to do finer details or something like that, I really like to have another pen. This one has a round nib instead, which makes it easier to write small things or draw finer details, or if I'm going to draw arrows, sometimes it just looks nicer with a round nib because it gets a more even line for obvious reasons, especially when we have curves like that. So that's tip number 2. For tip number 3, when I write something, I have and that's how to use colors. And here we are again with the ink. I have an important message. So I'll often try and limit myself to 3 colors at most. So I have one in the black one for the text, then one for structural things, that is the orange, and this one, orange, and then a blue one, for instance, for emphasizing things. I can also do something else and something. So instead of writing it, if I want for dramatic effect or something like that, I can just wait and then underline it instead. But that works quite well. And then for structural things like this or like this arrow, I use the structural color for that. And it doesn't need to be super precise, but it helps with simple colors. Then for the 4th tip, have a big marker. And in the ideal world, that big marker is the same color as this. So as a structural color, right? So I can make bigger places of color, or I can do underline, I can color full words without needing to spend a lot of time. But it really catches the attention when I'm using that one font, big font, and then one color that goes again over the full flip chart. And there's probably a lot of color theory whether or not these two colors work together. I'm not great at that, so I'll just live with it. And then my fifth tip is drawing. And I'm not an artist, but I can quickly draw something that just adds a bit of humor or personality to it. And it doesn't, as I said, it doesn't need to be a masterpiece. It can just be that we quickly add a little figure that looks at the content and maybe gives a thumbs up, and then having the other hand in the side. And then I can again use the orange color for the blouse or the shirt. I didn't give it time to set. And that's quite nice. And I like these small little details. It doesn't need to be more than that. And of course, if I wanted to, I could also use the orange color here in the bubbles. Then tip number 6, storage. I like to draw my flip charts on the go, but sometimes some of the illustrations require too much for me to draw it on the go. Or sometimes I would like to have maybe all the titles hanging around the room, so I've made them in advance. I have come to love such a nice little thing like this, where I have my flip charts, my pre-made flip charts in this canister, and with a nice little strap, so I can carry it around, and that works quite well for me. So I really like bringing it like that, and then I have all my reusable flip charts hanging on the wall here at home, and then I can just take them, roll them up, and then put them, and then on my way to the workshop. So that is 6 tips for using flip charts in facilitation, and I sincerely hope that it made sense and that it was valuable. And if so, please consider writing a comment or sending me a message. That would be awesome. And if you have comments, questions, ideas, or feedback to these videos, please send me a message, leave a comment. That would be great. So that's it. Have a super awesome day.